So as it happens, as many of you pointed out, I may have got a few things wrong in my last video. Watch until the end to find out the actual least amount of damage possible. Before then, we're going to go through some of the comments, questions people had, and some things people kept getting wrong. This would be a lot to do fully rotoscope though, so having real skin feels weird. Hi, how? Alright, let's get those common ones out of the way. For anyone asking why I didn't use Defeatist or Slow Start, those abilities all affect the attack stat, not the total move damage. Our attack stat is already 1 after all of our setup, so we're not going to get it any lower. Same goes for Ting Lu's Vessel of Ruin ability. Doesn't help us much because our attack stat isn't dropping past 1. Do you think I don't know what the number 0 is? Do you think the video would have been more interesting had I just said, what's the least amount of damage you can deal in Pokemon? 0, dipshit, and ended it? Actually, it's pretty funny. Also, shout out to this guy who didn't watch the video, but clicked on it, commented on it, and then immediately left. I respect it. I don't blame anyone for being confused by this one. Water Shuriken, for some reason, is a physical move in Gen 6. That's right, the ranged attack using water energy, known exclusively by special attackers, is a physical move, for some godforsaken reason. That's why in Gen 6 it's better than Water Spout, because we can get the damage drop from Burn. Okay, can I just say, if you're going to take one thing away from today's video, it should be this. Healing is not negative damage. If you were saying that as a joke, go somewhere else. This is a serious YouTube channel for serious people. If you were saying that in full sincerity, get professional help, it's not too late. For anyone who said ice scales over multi-scale or thick fat, they all reduce damage by a half, so it doesn't actually make a difference which one we use. For anyone asking why we didn't use Constrict or Magnitude 4 or whatever other god-awful move you could think of, again, attack power doesn't actually mean that much. Because of this +2 in the damage equation, no matter how low our attack, no matter how high their defense, no matter how low our move power, the result of this part of the equation can never be lower than 2. This means we don't actually care how low our attack power is, as long as we can hit those other modifiers to make sure the damage goes down. Shoutouts to this guy who realised we could get Torko's eruption power to go down by leveling it up to level 4, which would usually increase our damage. Assuming we invest fully into health, at level 4, Torko's max HP is 23, which brings Eruption's power at 1 HP down from our 11 that we said in the video to a clean 7. This only changes our total damage by about 0.0000001 of a damage, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Finally, last one, this guy. If you're this guy, send me your address. You've won a prize. Just let me know so I can send it on over to you. Good thing I enjoy being called British so much. Most Irish people would take this extremely poorly. No, not me. No, sir. Your address, please. Whenever convenient. In Minecraft. One last thing before the actual least amount of damage possible. This guy wanted to know how unlikely we could make it for a move to actually be used successfully and land. And I don't think I'll be able to make a full video based on that, so it's going here. We're going to use Dynamic Punch since it has the lowest accuracy possible. Moves like Sheer Cold might say they have 30% accuracy, but that 30% can be modified by accuracy or evasion, so OHKOs are off the table. Here's the teams we're using for our setup, with Magmortar as our Dynamic Punch user and Spinda as our target. To start off, we use Sand Attack, Flash and Double Team to maximize our evasion and minimize accuracy. Either of these modifiers at full capacity results in a 33% multiplier on chance to hit. So together, the probability is reduced by 89%. We give the Hustle ability to Magmortar by having Durant use Entrainment, multiplying our chance to hit by 80%. Keep in mind we don't just care about mischance, but chance to fail the move as well, so Thunderwave for Paralysis will give us a 25% chance of that. Confuse Rate will also increase that chance by another 50%, as will Infatuation. Nearly finished now, we make sure Spinda is holding a Bright Powder for another 10% drop in accuracy, and finally we get a massive drop in accuracy by having Spinda have the Tangled Feet ability, which while they're confused, doubles their evasion. If we tally all this up, we get a final percentage chance to both successfully use and land Dynamic Punch of 0.0375%. That one was for you, this guy. Alright, it's time for what you've all been waiting for, the actual least amount of damage possible. We're in Gen 7 this time, so we lose the ability to do triple battles, but what we gain is well worth it. This is going to be a little silly, but stick with me here. Ideally, we'd want a Pokemon with the same defense stats as Shuckle, the highest in the game, while also holding an Eviolite to get a 1.5 times defense boost. We can't use Shuckle for this, since Eviolite only works on Pokemon that can still evolve, which Shuckle cannot. But here's what we can do. We open up with Onix, Shuckle, Bastiodon, and another Shuckle. Bastiodon uses Guard Split on Shuckle, which sets both of their base defenses to the average between them. Bastiodon's 478 defense and Shuckle's 614 both are added up and divided by 2 to become 546. Bastiodon then uses Guard Split on Onix, whose defense of 460 gets set to 537. Keep in mind this ignores stat changes, by the way. The Shuckles switch out and back in, and this process is repeated until Onix's base defense finally reaches Shuckle's 614. With Onix at 4 times defense, with a 1.5 times defense boost from Eviolite, and a base 614 defense before those boosts, its total defense is a clean 3,684. Now you might be thinking, why Onix? It doesn't quad resist water or fire for the weather modifiers. Well, don't worry, because since my last video I have been informed of 2 very useful facts. The first one is that literally every Pokemon in Gen 1 that can learn TMs can learn Mimic. Did you know that? Isn't that wild? The second thing I've learned is that a move called Reflect Type exists, and by using Mimic, Onix can use it to mirror Kingdra's typing, and after getting hit by Forest's Curse, becomes triple resistant to water. We go through the same song and dance as last time, attacks at as low as possible on Smeargle, Burn, Reflect, Sunny Day, Rivalry, and Multiscale, and of course, Friend Guard Cleffa. Here's where things differ from last time. Smeargle knows Aqua Jet and is holding a Waterium Z. A Water Z Crystal. Onix uses Protect as Smeargle uses a Hydro Vortex, which because it's a Z move, deals damage through Protect, but it's reduced by 75%. With our new absolutely massive defense stat, all of our debuffs from last time, and the Z move quarter damage, our new least damage possible is 0.00328 damage. That's under half our previous best, and our previous best was a multi-attack move, so it was basically cheating in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. If you can think of an even better way to deal less damage, please keep it to yourself. I don't want to know anymore. Jokes aside, thank you so much to everyone who watched the last video, and everyone who commented and subscribed. The response was incredible, and I was able to make it to the monetization threshold, which was one of my goals for all of 2023. Reaching it in less than 3 months was mind-blowing to me, so thank you so much again. I plan to start being a little bit more consistent with uploads, trying to get a video out most weeks, so stay tuned for that. Please let me know in the comments if you have any video suggestions, and if you can think of improvements to the least damage, do actually tell me. I'll see you all next week.